Hey everyone, this is Eric Silvermoon and welcome to Silvermoon Wednesdays. I am super excited to not only be here with you guys, but to show you this awesomeness behind me. So as many of you have seen whoever I guess follows me on Facebook has seen that I've taken a little bit of a 4 weekend to disconnect from like Facebook, internet, and I got to enjoy my mom and my little brother who came down from the LA area to visit me and kind of hang out for the 4-day weekend. And during that time, I did remove everything completely except for the herbs. I removed everything from my sacred space, which is this office here, because my mom is how can I say it? She is a Christian freak, if you want to say it, to lack of a better words. So she's really religious, and so for me, as a respect to her, I kind of wanted to remove some things that might make her feel uncomfortable in my home. But in doing so, I completely felt guided to remove absolutely everything so that everything could get a proper clean and cleanse, and then a redesign of my altars and my office and sacred space. And so as soon as they left on Monday, I really just sat with the energies of the room and said, okay, this is the ideal space that I need to be creative and to really allow myself to feel almost like that witchy vibe, for me to allow, like I said, that creativeness to come out. And I've always resonated with the whole apothecary kind of witchy room kind of vibe. And so I really looked around my home and started stealing furniture. And so I have this dresser that's right here, already in my space, but then I have that cubby thing in my living room that just had books and some pictures. And so I measured it and I was like, this is a perfect size to go on top of that dresser. So that's what I did. So I kind of put that in there, and on top I think it just has like little things on it, but I thought it was the perfect size to kind of put it on top. And so I kind of move things around and the space just feels way more better. I'm not done, so on this side, which you can't see, I'm still going to work on this part right in front of me is where I want to put my vision boards and things that I want to manifest in those realms when it comes to my spiritual business and then in my spiritual life. And then I have some things that I just want to move around and redecorate. So it's a work in progress. But today, I wanted to talk about pet protections. Again, for those that follow me, know that I have two amazing rescue pets. They're my fur babies. I have my Maltese, which is his name is Milo, and then I have my Chihuahua mix. Then her name is Stella. And recently, we've taken on a foster kind of thing. We have a new kitten in our family that is currently being fostered because we're not really sure if this cat is a right fit for us. Even though he has gotten completely along with my other two pets and they have taken a liking to him, for some reason he just doesn't feel like he's mine in the sense. And one of the main reasons is because I can't seem to name him. The names with my other pets, I kind of sat with them and just I told them, I kind of whispered to them, it's like, I need you to tell me what your name is, either via a vision or a dream or a repeated occurrence, kind of like hearing a name about 3 times. And for each one, I heard their names in 3 different things. I heard the name in the radio, I heard the name like in a billboard, in a dream also, and then also repeated, I think, from a friend that just mentioned the name out of nowhere. So I did the same thing with the kitten. I looked at him and I said, like, hey, if you are meant for me, I really need to find out where your name is. Please, let me know what that is in whatever shape, form that I'm going to know without being a coincidence that this is what your name is and that you belong to me. And so I haven't had that yet. I mean, we're still patient. He's still really young. I'm going to show him to you real quick. Hopefully he doesn't get mad. I'm going to wake him up. Hi, baby. I know. You're so beautiful. So this is him. Isn't he amazing? he's just so cute. And he's a little baby. He is about, I want to say maybe 5, going on 6 weeks. He's in the transition of being bottle fed still. And best part is that he's now being able to use the litter. So we got him when he was barely turning 4 weeks. And so we had to do the whole taking care of him. And he's just so precious. And his eyes are starting to change to his adult color, which is great. And he likes to kind of just perch on my arm or on my shoulder and then kind of just go to sleep. And so he's super cute. But again, my partner Eric and I are trying to figure out if he is meant for us. Like I said before, like I do feel like he belongs to somebody else. And so I'm going to still sit with him and meditate with him and allow him to give me his name. And so when it comes to pet protections, I'm going to put him down so you can take a nap. When it comes to pet protections, I think it's the same thing goes when you're doing a protection spell for yourself. Whatever you would do for yourself, I think that it should be appropriate to do for your pet. You know, you might need a little bit of tweaking. But you know, when it comes to why protect your pets with magic, I'm like, why not? You know, it's important. Whatever I will do to myself that makes me feel good and makes me feel safe and protected, I should be responsible to do that to my pets, since they might not be able to have the capabilities, as far as I know, to do that for themselves. And so, you know, when it comes to why would they need the protection, I think it's important for me during my spirituality to realize that they, in my opinion, they astral travel a lot. They're able to freely move between the different realms and different, you know, the thinning of the veils and stuff like that. And you never know what they would pick up energetic-wise when they're traveling back and forth in that astral realm. So protecting in that case, it's really crucial for them. And the same thing with, for those that grew up in a Mexican household, and it might just be my household and my mom being kind of superstitious. She used to tell me that pets could see spirits and see ghosts and stuff like that. And she's told me once that that it is not okay to smear the tears, the tear ducts, the tears into your human eyes, because it will grant you the ability to see spirits. And I was like, what the heck? That's so weird. But it kind of makes sense if you see it in a hoodoo voodoo kind of ritual, where they will take that kind of thing, I guess, the tear from the animals, and rub them on their own eyes to have that kind of vision quest. So I was kind of intrigued, even though as a kid. But, you know, the whole thing kind of freaked me out a little bit. So that, for me, I feel like they do need protection, especially if they are seeing spirits, and if they're willing to interact with them in whatever form they feel safe. You know, I want to feel safe that they're being protected. The same thing when it comes to negativity. I think it's, you know, important to cleanse them as well. The way that you would, you know, cleanse yourself of negativity, to kind of do the same with them. And you know, when it comes to illness, you know, it's really good to put that protective energy in their food, in their water, and just around them, like casting a shell when you do stuff like that when they travel outside. I'm gonna grab a drink real quick. It's not wine, I promise. It's orange juice, but I'm being classy. So I like to class things up a bit. But in ways to protect them, gem water is fantastic. So it's kind of like a gem elixir. So if you have a pitcher, you put some crystals and gems in it, and you could either have it charged with the sun energy for a couple hours. You could do it with the moon energy as well. And you know, after you have it, I usually do it maybe 2 hours to 3 hours in either or, and then I put it in the refrigerator and kind of chill it. So whenever I want to refill my my fur baby's water, it has that nice infusion of the gems for them, and it is safe for me to sip as well. So I highly recommend doing that. You could even put a protection spell on them if you wanted to do a gem elixir to heal them of anything that they're currently having. I think it's good for that. If you want them to be able to have, you know, that really comforting kind of energy, you could have appropriate crystals for that. I mean, you could really do a lot with gem waters. Energy work is a great way to protect them when it comes to shielding, casting shields around them, and then, do it periodically. I think that's what you say it. So that they're always, fully cast and fully strong. And then just checking up on them to make sure that they still feel like they are being protected with their shields. I have also done crystal work, so I like to call them like little crystal guardians, or like a talisman. I've seen some amazing cat collars and dog collars that have little crystal charms in it, which is fantastic. But I think just assigning a crystal to the pet, that's going to be like their crystal guardian, that is going to protect them and infuse them kind of with that energy. It could be like a tumble stone that you sew in a little satchel that you could put in their bed area, somewhere that is safe enough for them not to open it up and eat it. I think that's a great way to also kind of cast that protection around them. And when it comes to protective satchels, which I'm going to do for all 3 of my pets, is I love these little Muslim bags. I use this a lot for my Mojo bags. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the name of my pets. And then for my unnamed cat, I think I'm just going to draw a cat picture or something until his name comes to me. But you can put the different herbs that you want. You can even put the crystals or just a spell, like if you did like a candle spell with when you allow everything to burn down, put it on here just like a Mojo bag, anointed, and you can put it in their bed area. So I'm fortunate that the dog beds that I have a zipper lining, so I could put it at the bottom of the foam mattress, or the foam mattress, and seal it up so they won't really know it's there, but I will know it's there, and they're being protected with these satchels. Another thing that I love doing is blessing their toys and their collars. And so I have my little kitten collar, and then I have Milo's Green Lantern collar, and then I have Stella's little pink collar. And the best way that I've done it with this is that I literally, before I put them, I do the whole energy cleansing, releasing either via smudge with incense, or sage, or just with my hands, removing all the energy, and saying pray over it, and really infusing it with all that love and protection for them, so that they're always protected at every time. So it becomes almost like a very powerful talisman, and this will be on their necks. And it's one of the best ways that I've known that they're being protected when I see them wearing it. It's like a reminder for me that they are divinely protected and loved. So those are my favorite ways of doing kind of protection spells for them. So I haven't done a protection spell on the cat. So I'm going to do that with this, and then I'm also going to do the satchels for all 3 of my dogs. And what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to put the herbs that I associate with protection, like lavender, rosemary. I'm going to put some sage in here, and I'm going to put my normal things that I always put as a citrine crystal, and then I'm going to write my prayer that is uniquely for the individual pet. So I'm going to do a different one for Milo, I'm going to do a different one for Stella, and I'm going to do a different one for the cat. And I'm really hoping that the cat will give me a sign that it is, supposed to be for our family. So he's adorable. So I'm going to take another sip of my classy orange juice. And the other thing that I want to talk about is, kind of like what my pets mean to me. Since for those of you who have been watching the Witches of the Four Quarters, we did an episode on spirit animals and totems. And then I unfortunately wasn't able to make it this week, but they also made a video on familiars and the difference between them. And for a long time, I didn't know what the difference was between a spirit animal and a familiar. I thought it was the same thing. But there tends to be a difference. And what I found, the difference between them is that a spirit animal really is a part of your soul, in a sense. It's almost like if you could turn into an animal, what would that be like? What are your characteristics? For me, my spirit animal is a black cat. I've always wanted a black cat since I was a kid. And that might be a little bit of the resistance that I have with this little baby, because he's not black, but he's still goddess sent. And so I know that for me, when I feel that cat presence around me, you know, it's a reflection of the characteristics in me, who I want to become. Someone that's very regal, that is very aware of things, very cautious, always firm on its feet, no matter how hard it lands. It always has a firm grounding and standing on. So for me, you know, a cat is very representative of who I am and who I want to strive to be. So that's for me a spirit animal that is here to guide me. And when it comes to a familiar, familiars for me tend to be more of a service animal, someone that you ask specific needs and or deeds to that animal. So let's say if I have like my fur babies, if you watch the video with familiars, you'll know that Shakti kind of shared her experience. They're very similar to mine. The animals that I have, I don't consider them familiars. I just consider them a part of my family, as if they're my kids. But I have not had that deep connection to an animal where I'm like, oh my God, you are my familiar. So with familiars, is my understanding is that you are able to give them a specific task. So if I had my actual black cat or a familiar, I would ask it to gain some things for me when they're astral traveling. You know, if you're out there and about in the astral world, if you see or hear any messages that are supposed to be meant for me, please bring them back with you. Or you could send prayers with them. It's like, please deliver these prayers that I have to so-and-so, or please send this light to so-and-so. And you can have your familiar go back and forth. That's what my interpretation of what I understand of it. So it's really cool in that aspect. And, you know, it could be any kind of animal, and it doesn't have to be a real kind of animal. It could be a mythical creature like a unicorn or a dragon. It really is whatever you resonate and what your soul recognizes as truth. And so in that instance, I just resonate with the black cat, but I never owned one. So we'll see what Goddess has in store for me. But normally that's pretty much it when it comes to the whole protection with your pets. I mean, there's a bunch of different ideas. I've read when it comes to, well, actually, I did do a witch's bottle, which I did grab each little hair that I have from whoever lives in the household and I protected in the witch's bottle. With my hair and Eric's hair, we had to cut our hair, but with dog hair, it's super easy. You just comb them and then you take all the little shavings that come out of it. But so, you know, that's one way of also protecting them in your household. And the same thing with pets is that they're so sensitive to the energies around you and around their homes. So it's really good to also clean and kind of space clear all that negativity or stagnant energy that's around in their home and their beds, to really make them feel protected, because they feel the energies more than we do. They're more aware than we are. Like I mentioned in previous videos, either with the Witches of Four Quarters or on here, that animals are the most wisest creatures ever, because they don't know anything else besides just being present and being who they are. You know, for this cat, the cat knows nothing else but just to be a cat and what that represents. And so to me, it's always very inspiring to see my pets and see them playing and realize, you know, I need to be more me, because I don't know how to be anybody else but me. So it allows me to really be authentic in that presence or experience, I guess. So, I mean, it's pretty cool. But if you guys have any other ways that you guys protect your pets or any spell work that you do, please let me know. I love hearing all this stuff. I always personally write my own spell work. It doesn't always have to rhyme. I love it when it rhymes, but it just depends on what I feel called to. Most of the time, it really is just a quick prayer that I write down in paper, because what matters is just that the intention is there. So if you're writing a spell for your pet and you're overthinking it, or you're getting lost in the translation of making sure that it rhymes, or not finding out the same words that you want to use, I always found the best kind of magic is what comes from the heart, because the intention is honest and pure in that aspect. So if you're just writing a paragraph of what you want your pet to feel from you and what kind of blessings you want for them, I mean, that for me is beyond powerful compared to something that you get from a book that might not really resonate with the actual pet. So if it comes from your heart, it's always going to be pure and authentic. So other than that, that's pretty much it. So it's not a really long video, but I did want to talk to you guys about the pet protections. And I was going to do like an actual showing of the spell, but I'm actually going to save it for a full moon ritual. So I'm going to wait for that to kind of do my spell work. So I might actually film a video when it gets closer to the full moon. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. And for those that know about my May giveaway, it ends on the 29th. And so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to close the video, which I'm going to link it at the end of this video, to win my my prayer beads, and then also win a set of Tiger's Eye runes. And so I'm going to close that out, and then I'm going to enter all the contestants or whoever participated in it in a little hat, and I'm going to pick the winner out, and then on Saturday's video, which is this Saturday on the 30th, I'm going to announce who won them and try to see if I could contact them to get that delivered to you ASAP. So for all those that watched and participated, good luck, and it's going to always go to the person that deserves it and needs it the most. So I always trust that it just happens that divine way. So thank you guys so much for joining me today, and for those that are going to watch it later, the recording on YouTube, thank you so much. Blessed be. Take care.